Hello and welcome to Baggins Book Summaries. In this episode, we'll be exploring Chapter 8 from J.R.R. Tolkien's classic novel The Hobbit. At the end of Chapter 7, with Beorn's guidance, Bilbo and the dwarves venture into the foreboding Mirkwood forest, taking the next steps towards the dragon's stronghold while Gandalf rode away to the west. Chapter 8, titled Flies and Spiders, begins with the group feeling uneasy, but ready to find their way through the spooky forest on their way to the Lonely Mountain. If you enjoy these summaries, please hit all the normal YouTube buttons and let us know how we're doing in the comment section below. Join us as we enter the forest and face challenges on our way to see daylight again. Bilbo and the dwarves were traveling through a dark and narrow forest path, burdened with Bombur's weight and dwindling food and water supplies. After crossing a stream using a boat and shooting a deer that was charging the group, they were forced to carry Bombur in turns of 4 each. The path was full of cobwebs and strange noises that made them anxious, and the forest seemed never-ending. They heard disquieting laughter and beautiful, although eerie and strange singing in the distance, which made them hurry on from those parts with the strength that they had left. Soon they found their path going downwards, and they entered a valley full of oak trees. Thorin asked Bilbo to climb the tallest tree to see if he could see an end to the trees, but he found himself surrounded by hundreds of butterflies, and he couldn't see any end to the trees and the leaves in any direction. They eventually spotted a light in the forest, which Bombur believed was his dream of a never-ending feast coming true, and they all rushed towards it, ignoring warnings of getting lost from Gandalf and Beorn. They found a group of elves who were feasting, but as soon as they stepped into the clearing, all the lights went out, and they were lost in complete darkness. Bilbo and the dwarves were forced to spend the night in the forest without food for fear of becoming separated again. Suddenly, they saw twinkling lights and heard voices and laughter. Thorin sent Bilbo alone to talk to the people with the lights, hoping they wouldn't harm him. However, the dwarves pushed him forward before he could put his ring on, and he stumbled into the full blaze of the fire and torches. The lights went out, the dwarves couldn't find Bilbo. They eventually stumble upon him asleep and grumpy about being woken up. Later, Kili woke them up again, saying there was a blaze of light and singing nearby. They went to investigate but found themselves in the presence of the Woodland King, and suddenly all the lights went out, and they were left alone once again in complete silence and darkness. The next morning, feeling miserable and hungry, Bilbo set out to find his companions but was attacked by a giant spider. He managed to kill it using his sword, and then he named it Sting. He then heard a group of spiders talking about eating the dwarves, and he realized he needed to rescue them before it was too late. He quickly found a smooth stone and knocked out 2 spiders attacking Bombur. He then led the rest of the spiders away from the dwarves by throwing stones and singing a song to infuriate them. Eventually, the spiders trapped Bilbo in a thick fence of webs, but he bravely sang another song to taunt them and to boost his own courage. Bilbo managed to escape the spiders and rushed to the location where the dwarves were being held. He climbed up a tree and began cutting the spider webs to release the dwarves. He freed Fili first, and despite his current state, Fili helped Bilbo rescue the other dwarves. Bilbo then noticed that the spiders had recaptured Bombur and were dragging him away. He rushed to save Bombur and killed several spiders with his sword. Bilbo then called the dwarves to climb down from the tree as the spiders were retreating, and they continued their journey through the forest, hoping for a safer path ahead. Suddenly, Dwalin realizes that Thorin is missing. The group had no idea what had happened to him, and they were all quite worried. As it turns out, the group had stumbled upon some Wood-elves who were feasting in the forest. The elves weren't wicked, but they were a bit distrustful of strangers. They find out that Thorin had been taken to one of the king's inmost caves with strong wooden doors for interrogation. He didn't say much except that he and his companions were starving. So, the king put Thorin in his dungeon, and he decided to keep him there until he felt inclined to tell the truth. But to be fair, the Wood-elves did give him plenty of food and drink, and they behaved reasonably well to even their worst enemies when they captured them. It was just their way. Chapter 8 of The Hobbit takes Bilbo and the dwarves deeper into Mirkwood Forest, where they face various challenges and dangers. From cobwebs and a charging deer to encountering elves and giant spiders, the group is constantly on edge as they continue their journey to the Lonely Mountain. Despite being separated and facing difficult obstacles, they work together to overcome the challenges they face, with Bilbo once again proving to be a brave and resourceful ally. However, the group's troubles are not over, as they learn that Thorin has been captured by the Wood-elves, leaving them to navigate their way through an increasingly treacherous path towards their ultimate goal. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Baggins Book Summaries. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and let us know what you think. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We have many more exciting adventures from Middle-earth to share with you, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Baggins Book Summaries. Until then, happy reading!